This is the shape of you button. Summer solstice is on, baby.
It is. That is every episode of sort of like Doctor Who or some dodgy British 70s horror movie where people would have cloaks on and things, and that was the theme tune to it.
Did you watch Sharknado 5?
I haven't watched
that.
Any Sharknado
That's
films.
a Sharknado, and they come out of Stonehenge. They're Stonehenge, and yeah, there was a. You have to watch Sharknado.
Come out of land?
Because it's a tornado that goes out. But apparently there's, I don't know, whatever. But please like and subscribe, because we will. I will swim with sharks when we hit 1 million
in a
subscribers.
tornado.
Come on, start this video. Welcome.
Welcome back to Andertons TV. It's another Tales from the Pedal Cabinet. We must be on episode 7,000 by now. I don't know. But these guys keep making more pedals, so we keep making more videos.
Do you like blue cheese?
I love blue cheese.
Mm.
What's your favourite blue cheese?
I'm not a blue cheese fan, man. I'm not a gorgonzola as well. It's like, there's something in it that I see.
Roquefort. Roquefort, beautiful French crumbly cheese. I do remember once coming back on the train from France, and somebody had some. I think it was called Old Lille was the cheese, and I think it might be in the Guinness Book of Records for the stinkiest cheese ever, and the whole train stunk.
I remember visiting my parents. I lived in Copenhagen, and I drove to where they live, and they gave me cheese, right? And it was so smelly that I had to hang it outside the window. Wow! Thing up. See, I'm doing this because that's how long time it was. So I had to hang it outside because I couldn't have it in the car.
I love smelly cheese. I love smelly cheese.
Smelly cheese.
Anyway.
Did you ever do that? Smelly cheese.
What was that? Was from school, wasn't
it? Smelly cheese, like that. Wow! What's going on today?
It's been a bad day. Cryptid currency. This is a fuzz pedal from Brian Wampler.
This is the best video.
Brian says these are all the fuzz pedals. So this goes from tone bender, fuzz face, and big muff all in one, depending on where you set the settings.
So a bit like they did with the yellow.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, so we've got 4 knobs: volume, fuzz, and tone. Does what it says on the tin. Character adjusts the bias.
I'm not biased.
Tight is tight, and as in the less tight, the more bottom end, and chime
the less loose
is top end. Top end. Let's have a listen.
The less
on
tight,
12.
the more loose. Big wreck.
Woo! Not talked about Spinal Tap 2 coming out.
Is it?
Yes.
No.
It's coming out this September. The trailers are out for it already. Spinal Tap 2.
That.
I know.
Oh,
I saw it over the weekend on the internet. I didn't even know they were filming.
Is it the same people?
Yeah.
Are they still alive, all of them?
Well, it's Christopher Guest and
Homer Simpson.
The other two. I can't. It's the 3 main guys.
Oh man.
I know.
Have you watched any of the other films they've done, like The Mighty Wind? Have you watched any of that stuff?
No, I haven't seen
you
that.
have to watch The Mighty Wind. Anyway, that's a flute band instead of the rock band. It's flipping hilarious.
Right, I'm gonna. Okay, so character, i.e. bias. That's a fun control because that really, really takes you into the realms of the sort of spitty fuzz thing. So
Velcro.
here we'll.
And you can hear when I turn it down. That's the bias thing.
Yes.
Because there's not
it's
much.
not a happy pedal at the moment.
It's not much power in it.
It wants more.
Are we running at 820 volts then?
Yes, but this is the other way around. So more character means more spitty.
Yeah. Okay. It's kind of you kind of have to go.
I've taken some of the bottom end away with the tight control.
Okay. Taylor now, isn't it? He's left the building.
I just like fuzzes. Great. I just like fuzzes when there's a lot of it. Yeah. Rather than, I'm not a big Velcro spitty fuzz guy, but
there's a certain way to play that. It doesn't have an octave on it, does it? There's no octave up.
No, not that I can see.
Okay. Because that's what I love with the fuzz, that you got an octave on top of it. You know. Well, so this is all spitty here now. That's a lot of it.
There's a lot of fuzz there.
There's a lot of it.
Anyway, so that's the Wampler Cryptid. That's £199.
Can I just say also, use the timestamps for each of these if we're going to jump ahead, please.
Pedal number 2 is the Crazy Tube Circuits Venus.
I read penis. I
read anus. So there we go. It just goes to show how revolting our minds are, isn't it? This has got a real tube in it. Now, interestingly, I think it's based on the old, is it the Chandler tube driver? Very famous previous pedal. But where I'm relatively familiar with all the sort of ECC 83s, sometimes also known as a 12AX7, and then you get 12 AT7s and 12 AU7s, depending on how much gain you want. What I've never heard of is the tube that's in here, which is ECC 832, which they're saying it's kind of like half an ECC 83 and half an ECC 82. But apparently you can swap these tubes out at will if you want. You take the back off, as long as you've got a little, preamp tube with the correct number of pins on it. Just put whatever you like in it and see what you think of the sound. So let's see what this.
Can we just remind myself? Can we remind myself? What does that mean? That's a clean sound.
Is that in tune?
No. Yeah. You can feel it compressing, the sackiness, the sagginess. It's just squeezing that sack. That's interesting.
I like that.
This reminds me of Orson, that band. There's a band called Orson.
Oh, Orson.
Yeah.
Yes.
They got that sort of sound on the guitar. It started.
Yeah, it was a good song. They had like one hit, didn't they?
Yeah. It's a good album, actually.
This is a really good. I'm enjoying. You're gonna love the Orson.
Yeah, this is the talk.
Okay, I'm just enjoying the pedal. I mean, I like the sound of it, but I think what's just refreshing is the fact that it doesn't feel like it's just full Jaffod territory, you know, where you just plug it in, it's like, oh, it's another good sounding Overdrive pedal. That was it. It's just a Danish band then or something.
Bright idea.
Bright idea.
It's a bright idea. Something like
Sounds
that.
a bit Maroon.
Maroon
vibey.
Blue Room 5.
Anyway, look, let's just mess around. So the bias control is doing the same kind of idea as the character control here, but it's wired more conventionally. So lower makes it sort of feel underpowered.
It just goes to show, we plugged it in at NAMM and it's like it couldn't really hear what it was doing. Ooh, that was not good. I'll play the same old lick all the time, man. Do low gain?
I really like that. Let's find out.
It's got that tubey sagginess that I can't really work out what it is, but it's got that. You can use it as a line driver, so you can use it as
this line driver apparently just selects the output level, so it's effectively got 2 levels of output.
What? Sorry.
Exactly. I'll show you. You play.
Okay.
It's an interesting.
It's kind
really
of fast.
Different sounding.
Yeah, very different sounding. That's finally there's 2 pedals that sound different.
Tons and tons of bottom end. In fact, let's just. Sorry, man. Just keep.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway, there you go. Which one do you prefer, ladies and gentlemen?
Links below.
This is $249, I think, if you need a bit of Venus in your life. I know Pete does. Anyway, that is that one. Now, the lovely people at Rock and Roll Relics, we've been selling their guitars for the last year or so. Love their guitars. They've introduced a couple of pedals.
Relics.
Yeah, I don't know.
I like the stinger here. That's the same they got in the back of the headstocks of the guitars, right?
I'm into Relic guitars. I did a piece on my Instagram channel saying effectively how completely different I feel about my 54 Strat since taking it from non-Relic to Relic. And so I'm in the I like Relic camp, and it's not just an aesthetic for me.
And if you're not, that's fine. Don't go, Relics, because we don't go, non-Relics, right? So just, there's room for everybody.
Relic pedals, though.
Relic pedals.
That is an aesthetic. It is what it is. I can't claim that relicking a pedal makes it sound or perform any better. It just looks cool.
I got a boss pedal that looks like that. I got plenty of boss pedals that looks like that.
And again, in terms of sounds, they've got a boost pedal here, just using new old stock transistors in there. Looks like you can switch between silicon and germanium at the top here. The Stinger is based on the old MXR Distortion Plus or the DOD 250, so that's more of like a distortion pedal. Again, using NOS
So it's a quiet taste, that pedal. The Distortion Plus is a quiet taste.
These are quite expensive, so I have high hopes. I'm hoping I really, really like it. If I just think it's okay, I guess it still looks cool. You might like this, but let's try it.
Clean sounds. amp give it a bit of a...
It did boost it.
It did boost it a lot. But let me go on to... That's just the amp.
Okay, so that's the kind of idea, right? So you want like a low gain amp.
It's got this mid quacky honk going to it, doesn't it? It's like... Monster.
It's a big sound. I was trying to find how much boost it was actually chugging in there, but
that's like a bias thing then as well, is it? Gnarly. That's what it is. It's gnarly sound.
There you go. I mean, it's a boost. It boosts. Yeah. It's quite expensive for what it is. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of boost pedals out there. It looks kind of cool, and I love the guys at Rock and Roll Relics. So I hope they do okay with that.
You covered it all.
Here we go. Distortion pedal now.
Wow. Is that loud to tail? Is that right? Again, it's that, in my opinion, Distortion Plus is very acquired taste. It's people use it because they need something special. I've never been a fan of it. It's kind of
it's got that squidge that you'd associate with a fuzz, hasn't it?
Absolutely.
But it's more aggressive. So it's got the aggression.
So we're going back to amp gain. It's proper rock stuff, isn't it? He said play something completely different.
I think the whole Rock and Roll Relics vibe is uncomplicated.
Yeah.
You get your beaten up single pickup Rock and Roll Relics guitar. You have your single knob boost pedal or distortion pedal. You plug it into an old Marshall.
And you just slay, Queen.
That's your sound and your image and aesthetic and everything like that. Yeah. And I think it fits that.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so these, ladies and gentlemen, are going to cost you between sort of £250, £300. They're handmade in Hollywood. Yeah, it's boutique. It's, there you go.
It's boutique.
That's your thing and that's your thing.
What are you doing, man?
I don't know. You've made me do it. Let's do the Kernom Elipse, not Eclipse. It's an ellipse. So about 5 years ago, the Kernom guys came up with this mood technology, and they used it first on an overdrive pedal. And the idea is it's an analog pedal, and as you move the mood control round, it adjusted the way the circuit clipped to try and emulate every kind of overdrive pedal there ever was.
Ellipse.
Yeah. Then they did a fuzz, same idea. Now they're doing a modulation pedal, same idea. So as we move through, we have this sort of infinite number of different oscillations happening, everything from a harmonic tremolo all the way through to a vibe and everything in between. Your depth and speed controls and your mix controls are pretty conventional, and then shape and swirl adds like a second and third dimension to all of those modulation sounds.
And it's MIDI, so if you use MIDI, any controller or whatever,
out the box,
perfect, right?
You've got two basic sounds: the wherever the knobs are set, and then your preset. Via MIDI, you've got 128 different presets if you want them. So let's just go through.
Okay, so let's start with the harmonic. That's nice. So what is this swirl? Just that sounds lovely. It's beautiful.
It just describes it as like extra levels of whooshiness.
Whooshiness. When the drugs kick in.
So the shape controls got like a center detente on it. So my guess is that in the middle it's not doing anything, and then you can throw the modulation off as to whereabouts the sine wave starts. Anyway, let's leave everything at kind of 12-ish, and we'll go through the moods and see what you like. So
the shape of you. So now you hit the rotary.
Indeed.
I love a rotary. That's nice, man. So what's next? Vibrato, chorus?
Chorus, vibrato. I guess the whole concept of this isn't to go to the setting that says rotary, because then you want to make your own. You're trying to find the
sweet spot
bits where it blends or emerges from a rotary to a chorus, and you're going, oh, what's that? But
so go back with it. You can hear when it's changing. Was this flanger?
Flanger, yeah.
Get some gain on. I mean, that's not Van Halen at all.
Not really, and I think he's phaser into a driven amplifier, isn't he?
No, he's phaser into pedals, isn't he, or whatever.
So Vibe is the last one.
You have to sit down with this pedal and really get into it, and because it sounds great. I mean, the other pedals sound great as well. You just have to find the sweet spots with it.
I think the MIDI thing will be cool. Like if you wanted, like say you had one of those Line 6 Helixy kind of pedals and you were just using it to recall multiple,
like a kick rig.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
You just had a Helix 1 or a Helix Stomp, and you were just using it to recall between choruses and flanges and phases and stuff like that. You could do that with this.
Yeah.
I quite like it. I mean, like Pete says, I think it's not as instantaneously obvious, on and off type thing. You've got to find it. But I did like the
sounds are good. The sounds are great and stuff.
Because it's all analog. That's what is kind of clever about this. It's not a digital. The mood thing is sweeping through all the different analog kind of settings, if you like, of a modulation pedal.
Can you tap the tempo? Or?
No, I don't think so. Oh, there is an expression pedal on the back. Sorry.
Okay.
So you can. I remember that on the others. You can assign that to do any of the parameters. Yeah.
On this one, there's a mid punch as well.
Right. I think that was my favourite. The Venus was my favourite of the drive pedals. So I'm going to try and set you up with like a bit of drive into a bit of this.
I do think that's my favourite. They're all good, man. But I can't remember when it goes. It's not that sound, is it, at all?
I don't, but you know, it's not that far off. I do like that.
Yeah, it's good. That's
there
good
we
as
go.
well. There we go.
All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us for another Tales from the Pedal Cabinet. Tune in tomorrow to find out what we're getting wrong. I'll see you later. Au revoir.